This is Dirt to Delicious, and I'm Miss Ellen. Today we're going to talk about cucumbers, and let's now go check them out. I'm going to demonstrate how to plant a cucumber seed. Even though it's late in the season, I'll start from the beginning and show you how to plant. I usually do direct sow. I do not plant seedlings. And direct sow, you can plant them in the ground 2 or 3 weeks after a threat of frost. Here where we're at, it's usually like April, May. I would say more May, late May, you want to direct sow. And it's late in the season, but I'll show you how to do it. What you want to do is you want to take a cucumber seed. They're not that small, so they're easy to handle. They look like how you would picture like a cantaloupe seed. And you want to plant them the depth of 2 or 3 times the size of the seed. So what I usually do is I take my finger, I make a hole, I stick a seed in there, and I cover it up. And you don't want to pat it down tight, you want to make it loose, so that way the seed has room to grow. And what's important about gardening always is pull weeds. If it's something you did not plant, it doesn't look like anything familiar, then it is a weed. Pull it, because it will choke out your plant that you do want there, which is your vegetable. And then once the seed is in the ground, you want to plant them usually 12 to 6 inches apart. Because we're in a very small urban garden setting, you usually plant them closer and then figure it out afterwards and spread things out. Once they get to a certain height, a few inches height, you can spread them out and kind of space it how you want to. And so it's loose, and you always want to water heavily, but you don't want to drown it because the seed may move around. So you want to make it nice. And I usually someone will donate seeds, not seed, but grass clippings. So just loosely put grass clippings, and what's nice about grass clippings is it holds back the weeds and also holds in the moisture. It doesn't look the greatest, but it will serve its purpose. Once the plants start growing, it will look nice. Some people like gherkins, and what's considered a gherkin is a cucumber that is less than 2 inches long. So some people like gherkins because they're sweeter, I guess. I don't know, or just smaller. You like to eat small pickles. But if you wanted to make a bunch of gherkins, you want to grow a lot of cucumber plants, and then you pull them to maybe when they're this size or even smaller. But the size that we're going to use to make pickles, and I usually slice them when I make them, so I would pick them at this size. So when you get to this size, you want to keep watering your plant, and you want to trellis it up. Try to, so that way it has some height and also gets some air. And whenever the cucumber is ready to make pickles, you just pull it off, and you want to pinch it off at the stem there. And these aren't looking the healthiest, but they're still good. They're good cucumbers because of the blight we've had here with these cucumber beetles. But there is a cucumber that we're going to turn into a pickle. With cucumbers, you can grow them on trellises with so many feet high. You can trellis them up, or you can grow them down a hill on a mound. These ones here are on a mound growing with watermelon and cantaloupe. So I'm going to grab some right here. There's some good sized ones here to make what we're going to make with them. We're going to jar some pickles. There's a bunch in here hidden. One thing about when you do plant things is you gotta look, because you're not gonna see things right away. So especially I would not say so much cucumbers, because you can find them right away, but when you're growing green beans and stuff like that, you'll keep finding them if you stay in one place long enough. Because look at all these ones. I thought there was only 2 over here, but really there's a whole bunch. So if we stay here a while and just keep looking, and right here, see this little one, it's not ready yet, but that's considered a gherkin. If you wanted to pick it and create gherkins, you can, which are just smaller cucumbers. Gray squirrel, swish your bushy tail. Wrinkle up your little nose, put a nut between your toes. Gray squirrel, swish your bushy tail. I don't know what he's doing. I've never seen him there before. All right, I'm in this kitchen. We're gonna make some pickles out of the cucumbers from the garden that we were at earlier. And we're gonna make pickles, but they're gonna be refrigerator pickles. They're not gonna be hot water bath that you put in a cabinet. They're just gonna be refrigerator pickles. They'll take 2 to 3 days to be good in the jar. So I've sliced up all the cucumbers here, and these are the ones that we've gotten from the garden. I have probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the 5th one is smaller. But I washed them off really good, cut off the ends, and those ends will be put back into the compost bin at the garden then. And then I sliced these up really good. I sliced up maybe, it was this much onion, maybe, I don't know, is that like maybe 1/4 cup. All right, so we're gonna put these items here. The onions and the cucumbers, we're just gonna put them in a strainer, whatever you have. Even if you just have a bowl, that's fine. It's no big deal. Whatever you have is gonna work. So we have onions. You don't even have to use onions if you don't want to. So I cut up onions. I cut up 4 medium-sized cucumbers. And the smaller the cucumber, the better. The bigger they get, the tougher the skin and the bitterness, more bitterness they have. It's a bigger cucumber. So you want to kind of use them the size that you saw at the garden. And the reason for the ice is it makes them crispier. That's the theory. So we'll see. So everything, you just kind of want to separate them because you're going to arrange them in the jar nice and neat. So you want to kind of have them separated here so it's easier for you whenever you put them in the jar. And we're just going to make 2 jars, 2 pints of pickles. So we're going to cut these up. We cut them up. We slice them down. We're going to separate them. We're going to put them in ice with the onion. And now I have ice here. So while this is sitting in there, bathing in ice. Also what I had there was 3 cloves of garlic. I took the skin off and I cut them up to about this size. And this is going to go in our pickle jars, but we don't want to put them in the hot water. We don't want to put them in the ice bath because we need to blanch them a little bit. Otherwise, if you just put them directly into the vinegar, they turn blue. They taste the same, but it'll be like a baby blue garlic, and it won't look nice in your jar because it's about appearance when you have jarred items. All right, so these pickles are zesty sweet pickles. They're not dill pickles. I don't really like dill that much, but some people do. You can add dill to this. So you're going to use what you have in the kitchen. If you don't have all these ingredients, that's fine. The major ones, I'll let you know. They'll be listed on the recipe, which ones are the major ones, and the other ones are optional. But things you want are crushed red pepper flakes, celery seed, allspice, whole cloves, and yellow mustard seed, pickling salt, and sugar, just white sugar. If you don't have pickling salt, kosher salt is fine, and also just regular iodized salt is fine. And if you don't have all these and you just want to go get pickling spice, you can just get this and use the combination of all these ingredients. Just measure out one of these. All right, so we have a saucepan here. We're going to add all these ingredients into the saucepan. We're going to heat them up and then put the garlic in. It's going to be a few minutes with that heated up. Once the salt and the sugar is dissolved, that's when it's done. So we're going to put all these ingredients in the saucepan together. We have 1.5 cups of white vinegar here, or to a cup of white vinegar, and then apple cider vinegar. If you only have 1 of each, that's fine. Just do 3 cups of either or, white vinegar or apple cider vinegar. So we're going to put these into the saucepan. So the apple cider vinegar, white vinegar, 1.5 cups of apple cider, about 1 cup of white vinegar. So we're going to put all those ingredients in the saucepan. We're going to heat it up to medium-high heat. We're going to do this fast. This is quick pickles. All right, so the apple cider vinegar and the white vinegar are in here. They're heating up. We're going to add our salt. And you're just dissolving it. That's all you're doing with the heated element part of this. You're dissolving the salt, you're dissolving the sugar in here. And then for each of these ingredients, we have allspice, whole cloves, mustard seed, red pepper flakes, and celery seed. We're going to put, and these don't have to be exact. You can kind of do the way you feel it, what you like more of. So we're going to do for the whole cloves, we're going to do probably like 8 whole cloves. So 8 of these, you can see the whole cloves. They kind of have like a sweet cinnamony type of smell to them. If you don't like that, you don't have to put that in. We're going to put in a 1/4 teaspoon of mustard, yellow mustard seed. You can put more in of this if you want, but don't overdo it. So, and these, you're not baking, so these don't have to be exact. And we're not hot water bathing to store it in the cabinet, so it doesn't have to be exact. When you do that, you have to be exact. Celery seed, you want probably 1/2 teaspoon of celery seed. And these are whole celery seeds. You don't want the celery powder, you want whole celery seeds. And you can add dill to this if you want. I have allspice here. I'm probably just going to add 8 of these, just like the cloves, the whole cloves. So 8 allspice. And then red pepper flakes. You probably want to add a whole teaspoon of that because you want it spicy, zesty, sweet pickles. And then I think we got everything. You can add dill if you want. All right, we're gonna mix this all together. The point of this is just to let the salt and the sugar dissolve. So it's heated up to dissolve all that. Because really the flavor is gonna come in when you are letting it sit in the refrigerator. And these, so everything there is mixed pretty well, dissolving. And then I have our garlic cloves here. And we're just gonna blanch them. So we're just gonna put those in. Maybe once you see that everything's dissolved, you wanna drop these in and just let that go for a little bit. Turn down the heat some. So we have pint mason jars here. It can be anything. It can be a Tupperware container, but usually what the measurements we're using will usually fill up 2 pint jars after you put maybe 3 once we see how many pickles we have. It all is about how many pickles you have and the size of them. So make sure these are cleaned out really well. Soap, water, warm water, rinse, just because whatever may have been in there. We're not going to put these in a cabinet. This is not for cabinet storing. This is refrigerator pickles. So we've had our pickles sit here in the ice, and we're going to arrange them into the jars. And we're trying to pack as much as we can in here. So at the beginning, you kind of just throw them in there, but then you want to kind of wedge them around if you want to win the state fair competition, blue ribbon canning. And while this is going on, you can be still cooking your vinegar and all your spices. So you're trying to pack as much in there as you can. All right, so I had a jalapeno here that I had from the garden. I snuck in the bag and brought it in. But I'm going to slice this up and put it in there also. So and I'll split it between the 2 jars. Kind of want to get the hot stuff of the jalapeno or any peppers, usually the seeds. We don't want it that hot. But these are sweet, zesty, spicy pickles, so stuff like that is good. You can put carrots in here. You can put spring onions, whatever you want. I put garlic, onion, and pieces of this pepper in. And you can put green beans in there. Put whatever you want. All right, so our sauce, I turned it off just while I was packing that stuff. I knew everything was dissolved, but you can have it cook in a while if you want. Just make sure look into the pan, make sure everything is dissolved, the salt and the sugar is dissolved. All right, so our sauce, our pickling juice is ready. We're gonna take it over here to our jars, over in this area here. So what I wanna do, because we have our garlic in there and our other spices, I wanna kind of make sure it's gonna go evenly through these. We're gonna have it evenly proportional between these 2. So I kind of just scoop out the garlic and the larger items, the allspice, and the other stuff in here. So we have our jars here. We might have extra, but that's fine. You can just cut up more vegetables. So that's it. And I'm going to make sure some of these bigger spices come out of here. And the cloves of garlic. And that's it. And then you just put it, seal it, and put it in the refrigerator. And wait 2 days, 3 days, 1 day, and then you have zesty, sweet pickles. It is very good on sandwiches with cheese and mayonnaise if you don't eat meat, and bread. And I'm going to put it in the refrigerator there, right on top in the front. These are good pickles. They're real crunchy. And there is a gherkin in here. So I mixed a gherkin in with the regular sliced pickles, which a gherkin is a small pickle. That's all that is. So if you want pickles and you want to know exactly what is in that jar, you make it yourself. There's no unknown things in there. It's everything you put in there. It is good.